So guys, today we are going to discuss the restaurant owner module, how you can implement the authentication part. That what we are going to discuss. So basically, if you look at our application, this is going to be our home page. And from this page, right, we can direct or we can navigate the user to different type of admin panel. So if he is a customer, he can click on this one. Ideally, in real time, right, you can have different types of application or portal, but here in a single application, we are developing everything. So now, whenever the user click on this link, we need to navigate it to the restaurant owner, right? What I can say the landing page. So once you click on this, this page will open. So here it will ask you, right? Whether you want to log in if you already have an account, or you can also create a new account by clicking on this register button. So once you click on this register button, this page will open where the user needs to enter the necessary details like his personal details, business details, bank details. Later, once the user is approved by the admin, then he can also enter the address information. So, and once you created the account, your account is going to be in verification state. Once the verification is completed, I mean, once your account is approved by the admin, then you can start right manage your account. I mean, you can add the menus, you can add the categories, you can add offer a promotional code, and you can manage everything right as a restaurant owner. Whatever the features are required, those features you can implement now. So once you click on the sign in button, this page will open. Here you can log into your admin panel. So once you provide the valid username and password and click on this login button, it will redirect you to this admin panel. So this is the dashboard. In the dashboard, what you are going to discuss, we are going to show welcome message, and then we'll say, right, we will display some overview for today's how many orders have been done, right, for your restaurant by customer, total number of orders, what is the total revenue for the current date, how many customers have purchased, right, from your restaurant, and what is the average rating given by the customer overall. See this average rating, it is the overall average rating, and this information what we are provided here, it is based on the current date. Right. So now if you don't want to provide the current date, rather than if you want to provide the lifetime information, that is also possible. So what is the changes? The changes is the filter condition, how you are fetching and how you are grouping the information or aggregating the information. That conditional logic is going to be changed. And from here, the user can manage the order. I mean, once he click on this view orders button, one page will open where he can see the current orders of today, how many orders are pending, how many orders are approved, how many orders are rejected. That list of is going to be displayed. So once if you want to manage the menu in the sense if one item is not available, you want to make sure that item should not be placed or purchased by some of the customer. If you want to add a new item, right, that functionality you can manage using this into menu. So sales analytics means you can see a sales report from the last 7 days comparing with the previous 7 days, last 20 days, last 1 month, last 3 months. So how many orders are being purchased? What is the total order cost? What is the revenue? So those information you can manage. Manage offers means, right, for example, I want to give you a 10% of a discount, 20% of a discount. So that conditional, I mean, that offer you can also manage by clicking on this manage offer button. So, and then you can see this is going to my dashboard page. In the my account, right, why it is not working? That is, the application menu should work. Ideally, it should work. Let me check why it is not working.
So please inspect the particular the
Yeah,
admin
yeah.
page.
So there is no issue. So basically, the issue is related to, right, some of
CDMA
the
means.
CSS file. Yeah, it is working. So basically, the issue is related to some of the, right, Bootstrap CSS version, whatever we are targeting, that might not be available, or some of the, it what I can say, file is missing. That what we have added, and it is working now. So you can see in the My Account section, we have this View Account option. So in the View Account, we need to provide this basic details, whatever the basic details entered by the restaurant owner, that information we need to show here. Here, if he wants, you can also edit his information. If you click on this edit button, you can see whatever the existing information he can edit. And once he edit, this is not working. We'll see why it is not working once we start developing. Then this is going to be cancel button, and here he can change the password. So password change functionality is also there, and here he can write change the password, and here you can see address, any address whatever you have entered if provided, then this page will come, and here you can add a new address or you can update the existing one. So you can see this is manage address, and here you can address. Then the next one is right, you can see manage bank details section, whatever your bank information, that information whatever you provided, if you want to update, then also you can update the same information. Then it is going to have a rate your business details page, where you can also update your business information. See here it is showing this details, and these details you can also update as per your requirement. So these are the things what we are going to discuss in today's session related to the authentication part. Later on, as we progress, I will show you how to manage the items. How to manage the items means the menus, right? Whatever the type of foods your restaurant is providing, that foods are how you are going to manage. That manage orders means whatever the orders placed by the customer for the particular date, how you are going to manage such orders. Whatever the reviews provided by the customer related to your menus, items, or related to your restaurant. So that information you can handle here. So sales report means it is the place where you can verify how your business is growth, right? Goes in the sense we are going to provide some kind of a comparison, right? Comparing the last 7 days with the previous 7 days, last 28 days with the previous 28 days. Without comparing also, we are going to provide. So we are also going to implement some kind of a chart, a bar chart, right? Which is going to show you the data, right? In a typical chart format. Notification means any notification, right? For example, so this page is going to give you more information, right? Any message provided by the admin to you, right? For example, you know what do you mean by notification. Notification means providing some kind of information. So if the admin, right, they wants to give some information that your bank details is not correct, please update your this information. Please update, right, your registration number, right? Whatever information which is related to your bank business, and which you have not provided, or if you have provided which is not correct, then admin can give some kind of information. So those informations you can see here. Inventory management, for example, if you want to make sure one item, right, for there are a different kind of cousin, you want to make sure one cousin should not be available, or right, or you can say you want to make sure that my restaurant is going to be closed for some days. So that information you can manage here. And this promotional and coupons means any kind of coupons or promotions, right? That what you want to provide. For example, those who are going to purchase I mean, place the order between 5 to 7 p.m., they will get additional 20% of discount. So those kind of a promotional or coupons, right? You can manage using this panel. So all these things we will discuss in our coming days. But today, what we are going to do is we are going to manage this part, how you can manage your account. I mean, starting from registration till the login functionality, forgot password, change password, right? Managing the basic information, address information, business details, bank details, how you are going to manage all these things. That is what we are going to discuss. Clear, guys? Is that
Yeah,
clear?
absolutely clear.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Guys, give me 1 minute. Few more members wants to join. Let me give the message to them. Okay, fine. So now let us proceed and implement this functionality in our application, right? So what we have done, so whatever the changes we have done, let me take these changes, and these changes we need in our application. So now let us proceed and implement this module one by one. So basically we are going to implement how the user can authenticate, how the account is going to be verified, how the user is going to be logged in, how the user, or you can say admin, going to manage his account information and the business information like the business details, bank details, how, right, all these things are how it is going to manage. So again, we'll follow the typical architecture what we are following to develop our application. So basically we are going to create the required view models with data annotation for validating the data. We are going to create a separate service layer, which is going to encapsulate all the business and the data related logic. We'll create a separate controller for handling the restaurant owner related operations, and we will have two different layouts. So one is for the verified user, another layout for the non-verified user. So two layouts we are going to use. Why we are going to use two layouts? That what also we are going to discuss. So let us proceed and create these things. So first of all, what we need to do? Okay, let me open our project. This is not the project. This is the project which on which we are working. Okay, so now let us proceed and implement this. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a separate view model folder. That folder name is going to be restaurant owner. So like this common service, common view model, customers view model. So for each module, we are going to create a separate view models folder. So this is going to be restaurant owners folder. So any view model which are specific to restaurant owner, they are going to be stored inside this folder. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a view model for the registration. For the registration, whatever all informations are required, those informations we are going to store inside this view model. So let me go ahead and create this one. So if you know for the registration, we are going to have three different types of information at the registration: basic information, business information, and bank details. So those informations we are going to take. So you can see whatever the first name, last name, phone number, email, password, confirm password. So these are nothing but is basic information. Then what we need to take? We need to take the business information. You can see I'm going to take the business license number, GSTN, right, business registration number, any specific or any other information which is part of your business, right, as per the requirement by the client, you can also add them as per your requirement. Then we are also going to take the account information. What is the account holder name, bank name, right, account number, IFSC code, right? So these are the information which is required for the account creation. So all this information I have put inside my restaurant owner registration view model, and this model is going to be used for creating or registering a new restaurant owner. Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
sir.
So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the restaurant owner account view model. So basically once the, right, I mean, we need one view model which is going to hold the restaurant owner information. So for that purpose, I'm going to create this view model. So it is very similar to your registration view model, but this is going to be right, having some additional property like this user ID, which is not having with this registration view model. Why? Because this view model, this ID is going to be created once the user is created. So user address ID. So whatever the address information related to the user, that information we are also going to store. So this is nothing but you can consider this view model is going to be used as part of our view account or my account page. So in the my account page, we are going to display, right, some information. Okay, let me open that page, right, to open that application so that you will get better clarity. So now, see, so in the view account, you can see I'm showing the basic details, I'm showing the address details, I'm showing the business details. So these three informations I'm going to display. So that is the reason why you can see this is going to be the user basic details, this is going to be user address details, this is going to be your business details. So now if your requirement that along with this information, I also want to store the bank details, whatever the properties are required for showing the bank information, those properties you also need to add here. Clear? Is that clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Okay. Now, so this is one page which I have not shown you, right? So basically, once the user is created, I mean, as a restaurant owner, you sign in, you provided all of your information. But till the information, so whatever you provided, if these informations are not verified by the admin, you cannot log in into the dashboard. So basically, so once you provided the information, until and unless your account is not verified by the admin, we need to redirect the user to the account verification page. And that account verification page is going to display the current status of your account, whether, right, if by default it is going to be in pending state. If it is approved, then you can redirect it to the dashboard. If it is rejected, then why it is being rejected, that information it is going to display in that page. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new model that is going to be restaurant owner account verification view model. So once your account is not verified, I mean verification is pending, or if the verification is rejected by the admin, then in that case this page will come into the picture, and this page is going to display what is the current status, and when it is going to be verified, what is the estimated verification time period. So those informations it is going to display. So what is the email is verified and estimated verification time, and this message is going to tell whether your account is if it is rejected, why it is being rejected. So that information we need to provide. Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is going to be
Yes.
account verification. So restaurant owner business details view model. So basically, if you look at this, so we are having manage bank details, manage business details. So this is another page where we need to display the business details. And for this purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one. So restaurant owner business detail. Again, this model I'm going to use in two places, one inside this page and another one inside this page. So basically, this model, whatever I'm going to create, it can be used to display the data, as well as we can use the same model to update the business information. And here, guys, remember, I don't have that add business details page. Why? Because whenever the customer, I mean, whenever the restaurant owner registered himself, he has to provide this information. Later on, he can modify, but he cannot add new information because that information, what is going to be verified by the admin. So we can only provide the update business details page, but not the add business details page. Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Yes.
Right. So now let me provide this information here. So this is the page user ID. Yes, definitely this page will be accessible to only the logged in user. Logged in user means he should and he must have that user ID. And this information, that restaurant owner profile, will come from this table. Yes, so this is going to my restaurant owner profile table. So from this table, it is going to get the data. So currently this is my existing database. So in your case, the database is going to be this food delivery app, which I will show you. But currently, that database doesn't have any information. But in this case, whatever the restaurant profiles, those information it will pick from this table, right? So that particular restaurant owner profile ID, I'm going to store here. Then you can see what is the base. See, this is actually not required. Why? Because in this case we are managing one to one. So one to one means this profile owner profile ID is not that mandatory. But yes, whenever we are going to update the information for the safer side, whatever the user ID and whatever the restaurant profile ID, whether both are belongs to the both are interlinked or not. For that verification purpose, we are using this one. So business license number, GSTN, and this business registration number. So these three things we are expecting or right, and this information we need in our page. Then you can see this model is clear. What is the use of this view model?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create my bank details. So in this case, you can see this is my bank details. Here I'm going to display this bank information. Again, I'm going to display this bank information inside my update bank details page. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a view model. And this view model, right, this bank details view model, it is going to be used by this restaurant owner, as well as this view model is going to be used by the delivery partner. Why? Because the delivery partner can also manage his bank information, bank detail. So as this view model is going to be used by two different, right, what I can say, two different types of a user, where I need to put this view model inside this restaurant owner or inside this common folder.
Common
Right?
folders.
Common folder.
Definitely, it should become inside the common folder. So whichever view model is common, I mean the model which is going to be used by more than two user or two different model going to use the model. So it is better to put them inside the common folder. So again, I have created this one inside the commons folder and put it there. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So these are the view model. And now you might have one question, sir. What about other in the sense you can see this manage addresses. You can see this change password. So already these models we have added inside our common folder. So add address view model, change password view model, forget password, login password. So these models are already there. Do I need to create them again? No need. Why? That is the reason why we have provided or we have stored this model inside the common folder. Why? Because we are going to reuse this model within our different module. So we can use inside customer model, we can use inside restaurant owner, we can use inside delivery partner as well as right if required we can also use them inside our admin model. So these are the models which is already created. So for this change password you can see within our common folder we are having this change password view model. Similarly, if you want to manage the address, so this address view model is already there, right? Address view model is already there. For login functionality, login view model is already there. For the reset password, this reset password view model is already there. So these are the view model which is already we have created in our last session. So we can reuse them as per our requirement. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us proceed and create the services. Again, as we are implementing this as per the industry standard, so what we need to do, we should separate the business and data access logic from our controller class. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one interface and with the all the required operations, and we are going to implement that interface within a specific class, and that class is going to provide the actual implementation. So if we are following the interface based approach, then what benefit we are getting, we can implement unit testing very easily. So now we need to create the restaurant owner service interface, and that a restaurant owner service basically going to manage the registration and login operation. Password management means change password, forget password, reset password, updating the account details. Account details means whatever the basic information whatever the right, what I can say, address information, bank details, business details, all these things we should provide a easy to way, right, mechanism to update this information by the restaurant owner. So let us proceed and implement this interface first. So let me go ahead and create this interface. Okay. So basically within the services folder, create an interface with the name iRestaurantOwnerService.cs. And within this class file, whatever the features or functionalities are required, those features, those operations we need to define. Now, you can see for registration and login purpose, we are defining two methods. One is used to register the user. The model for this one is restaurant owner registration view model, which we created inside our restaurant owner, right? What I can say, folder. So here you can see this is my register or view model, restaurant owner register, this view model. For the login functionality, we can use the same login view model, which we created inside the common folder, login view model. For the password management, you can see we have created one method for the change password, forget password, and the reset password. So for this purpose, that change password view model, forget password view model, reset password view model, right? You can see we have the here you can see the required view models are already created. So here you might have one question. Sir, what is the, we understand the change password. Change password means by taking the current password, we can update the user password. So what is the use of this forget password and reset password? So forget password means we'll take the email ID, we'll verify whether this email ID exists in our database or not. If it exists, we are going to generate one send email link, one recent email link, and that link will be sent to the email ID of the customer. Email ID of the restaurant owner. That is the meaning of this forgot password. And that is the reason why, if you look at this entity should have only one property, that is email ID. Now, once the user clicks on that link, then it will come to our application, and then this reset password is going to handle the password functional. So basically, whatever the token we send to the customer email, whatever the email ID we send to the customer email, so that token, that email, plus that new password and confirm new password, these four properties or what I can say informations we require to reset the password. So that is the reason why, if you look at this, it should have these four properties: the email, token, password, and confirm new password. And in this case, it should have three properties: what is the current password, new password, and the confirm password. So here you can see current password, new password, and the confirm new password. So these are the three methods which you need to implement. Clear?
Absolutely clear. Clear, sir.
Yes.
Right. So this is my restaurant owner account details. So basically, here you can see this view model I'm using, right, to update the account details. So if you look at this, so whatever the first name, last name, email, phone number. So basically, whatever the basic information, so that what we need to update. Update restaurant owner account means that basic information, that what we need to update. Then this is going to be get restaurant owner by ID async method. So based on the user ID, so we need to retrieve the restaurant owner information. So basically, you can consider the complete information about the restaurant owner, that what we need to retrieve. So that will include so whatever. So basically, whatever information, right, we are showing in the my account page, like the basic information, address information, that business information. So everything will be included here. That is the reason why the return type is going to be user. So this is going to check whether the account is verified by the admin or not. So is account verified? It will take user ID and it is going to check whether the account is verified or not. So this is required, right, when the user is going to be logged in. So once the user logged in, we need to check whether the account is verified or not. If it is verified, that's fine. If not verified, then we need to redirect it to the account verification page. And this method is going to return me only the profile information. So basically that business information, whatever you require, that restaurant owner profile means that business information. So that is what it is going to return this method. So now you might have one question, sir, why not we use this method? You can use this method, but doesn't require. Why? Because if all the informations are not required for a particular page, then why should I retrieve all the information? Then I'm going to filter the data because performance is important. So in that case, if all the information about the user is required, like in the My Account page, you need to call this method. But wherever you want to display only the business information, then in that case, only only business information means we need to use this method. Similarly, for a particular user ID, so now what is our requirement? Unlike the customer model, where the customer can have multiple addresses, and based on the address, he can place the order. Whichever address you want, he can pick and he can place the order. But in this case, as this is the restaurant owner module, so here we are not allowing the restaurant owner to provide multiple addresses because he is not the one going to place a order using this account. Rather than he is going to manage the order. So in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to allow the restaurant owner to have only one address. So that address he can later update and he can modify, right? So it is up to him. So in this case, right, we are not going to provide any delete address functionality, only uh, based on the user ID. If any address is provided, that address information will return. If any address is there, the user can update the address. If address information is not provided, then he can also add the address. So for this purpose, I'm using a single method which is going to check whether for this particular user ID any existing address is there. If exist, then let me modify the address with the new address information. If not exist, then let me create a new address. So that is what we are going to implement inside this add or update address async method. Clear?
Yeah, clear,
Clear?
sir.
Right now,
Yes.
similarly here, what I'm doing, please observe. So I'm facing the bank details. So basically here, what I'm doing, so business details. Okay. So I think this method is there. Get restaurant owner. So this method is not required right here. Why? Because this method we are handling separately. So this method you can simply comment it. So now what I'm doing here, I'm separating. So this is address management, this is bank details management, and this is business details management. So basically, we are going to use this method to implement the functionality, right? So here, one method based on the user ID, whatever is bank information, that what we need to return. And then this method we can use to update its bank details. Similarly, this method is going to return its business details, and this method is going to update the business details. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, so this method is no longer required, right? Because this is the method what we are going to use, business details. So now, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement this service. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do, we are going to create a class file with the name restaurant owner service. And where we need to create this class file within the services folder. So let me go ahead and create this class file. And then let me copy this code. So this code is going to be very lengthy. But it is very simple, right? If you understand the flow, then this is not going to be a right challenging, what I can say, model. So now you will get this information. Okay, so let me first collapse this one. So one method we don't require. What is that method? Get restaurant owner profile asset method. So let me check where this method is available in the current document. So this is the method. Let me copy this method. Sorry, comment this method. So this is not required. Okay, now let us proceed. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide the DP context operation. So basically, I'm going to deal with the database using context object, that instance I'm injecting. I'm going to log the data into the Serilog logger. I'm into the text file. So for that purpose, I'm going to use this underscore log, Serilog logger file, and I'm going to send some kind of a email, right? I mean the registration email, that change password, forget password, account verification, right? So those email we are going to send. So for that purpose, we are going to use this email service, and this service, three services, I have initialized using the constructor now. So registered method, this is my registered method, which will take the registered account view model. So first of all, what we need to do, so when the user is going to register, we need to ensure that email ID and mobile number are exist. So that's what we need to verify. So that verification I'm doing here. So right, this preliminary checks, right, whatever happening here, you can also remove this information to the right controller class, right? From the controller class, you can invoke this method to verify, right, whether this is happening. We will do this later, right? I will show you how you can remove this and how you can use this verification from the controller, because once you validate the data, then we can call this method to register the user. So we are generating the hash version of the password. And at the time of a registration, as we are going to deal with multiple tables. So multiple tables means,
Sir, one question.
yes, please.
Sir, Bcrypt uses which hashing strategy? It's SHA-51 or SHA-512?
See, that basically, right, it is going to be used some SAR 256 algorithm.
Okay.
Right? So in this case, right, as we are going to deal with multiple tables means we are, whenever the registration is happening, we are taking the business details, we are taking the bank details, we are taking the customer, I mean the restaurant owner basic information. So in our application, so basically these three informations means we are going to deal with three different tables, right? So if you look at this, so in this case, the basic information will come into this users table, restaurant owner profile, the business information, and the bank details will come inside this tool. So as we are dealing with multiple tables, so what I'm going to do is, it is better to use a transaction within the transaction scope. Please try to insert the data. If any time any issue is occurred, then roll back the transaction, and that what we can achieve using the transaction concept. So basically, I have created my transaction object. Now and now once the transaction is created, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to manage the operation using this transaction. So first of all, what I'm doing here, please observe, I'm creating the user information. So basic information I have provided. First of all, you can see first name, last name, phone number, email, and password hash. So these are the information what I'm getting from the UI. So whatever the first name, last name, phone number, email, and whatever the password the user is provided, that hash we have done here, and that password hash we are going to store. Now it will be the role ID. The role ID is going to be restaurant owner. So when it is being created, that date time dot now. With is this a customer is going to be active? Yes, it is a active customer. Each email is verified? No. Each phone number is verified? No. Each two-factor authentication is enabled? No. So all these things we have provided. So now, right, so this information we have stored here. If you want to store this verification as a true, that is also fine. So, but ideally, this verification part we are not taking into consideration at this point of time. But later on, if your requirement is that until and unless the email ID is not verified, phone number is not verified, please block the login. That's what you can implement based on these properties values, right? We will see this thing later on. So now I'm just calling this step changes method. So once I call the step changes method by adding this entity to this user's collection property, to be set property, then one owner user, I mean that user is going to be created. And once the user is created, then what we will get the user ID. So based on the user ID, next what I need to do, I need to create my restaurant owner profile object. So for this profile object, I need the user ID, which I already got from here. Then whatever the business license number, GSTN, and the business registration number, this thing. So until and unless, right, until and unless the account is not verified by the admin, he cannot proceed further. So, and by default, you can see this is verified property, we are marking it as false. Now you might have one question, sir, why not you put this property inside this entity? Why you are putting this property here? So you just tell me, is this property is verified? Is this required by all the stakeholder, or it is only required by the restaurant or admin and the delivery partner? Is this required by the customer? No. Is this property required by the admin? No. If this is not required by the customer, by the admin, means what? Means it is not a common property. So if it is not a common property, then why should I put that property inside my user entity? Not required. So that is the reason why. So I'm putting this property inside my restaurant owner profile. Similarly, delivery partner owner profile. Until and unless that account is not verified, he cannot write. I mean, pick any order and whatever the functionality related to the delivery partner, he cannot do. So in that case, again, we are having this property inside that delivery partner profile. Clear? Why I'm putting this property here, not here? Is that clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Sir, I have one
Right.
question, sir.
Yes.
So while we are adding owner user, so there is a possibility that we may not insert the data into the database. So in that case, how the behavior should be for the restaurant owner profile?
See, I'm not getting it. So if there is some issue means you will get some exception.
Yes.
So if this statement is throw some error,
Mm-hmm.
then then the right the triggering point or the movement, it will move to the catch block or it will execute the remaining statement whenever there is some exception.
It should go
Catch
to the
block.
exception block.
The exception means if there while inserting this user information, if any
Mhm.
error occurred
Yes.
here, is this statement going to execute the remaining statement in the try block? What is the basic fundamental of exception handling? If any statement causes some unhandled exception, if any
It
exception
will go out
occurs,
of that method.
it will go to the red catch block. So that
Yeah.
means if any exception, if this entity is not inserted into the database, so these entities are never going to be inserted. It will come to the catch block, and in the
Yes.
catch block, it will roll back the transaction and it will return false. Anytime, right? For example,
Okay.
let assume this entity is inserted, but while inserting this entity, there is some issue. Issue means it will come to the catch block and it is rollbacking the transaction. Rollbacking the transaction means this entity, whatever information inserted, they are also going to be removed from the database. Clear?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right?
So what is a better mechanism to see the log file, sir? What went wrong?
So that's what we are putting here. So whatever the exception, that's what we are logging here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
so basically, for whatever
Yeah.
reason the exception occur, that's what we are writing here. I mean, that's what you can see in the log file.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
also providing some information that either user profile bank details within the transaction
Mm.
or email ID is failed. So that proper information and
Okay.
what exactly the main reason, that's what we are also logging. Clear?
No, actually, the best practices is that whenever we are doing such kind of two-time insertion or three-table insertion, it should also roll back. Actually, because this is the sequential program, na. So if say the first has not happened, either the second has happened and the third has not happened, then how will take care for the second time? So it
See, you
should
just
roll
tell
back
me.
also.
That is what we are writing here, rollbacking the transaction.
Correct. Then it is correct.
So basically, where we need to write the rollback statement whenever there is some issue, and how you are going to handle that issue within the catch block only. So in the catch block, we are writing that rollback statement,
Yeah, right.
right? So now, so once this owner profile, relative owner user information is inserted, owner profile is inserted, then we are going to insert the bank details. Again, that user ID we have added, and bank details is also going to be inserted. But in this case, you can see, I'm not inserting one by one. So both this restaurant owner and both this bank details, both are going to be inserted within a single, I mean, single transaction. You can say single transaction means using some kind of batching. So now, once all this statement, right, I mean, this changes method call, and this shift changes method call. If both are right completed successfully, then what we need to do? We need to commit the transaction. If any exception occurred, then we need to roll back the transaction, right? But now there is a twist. So after committing the transaction, right? If we here you will get some exception, then this will not work. This will not work means right. This rollback will not roll back the data from the database. Why? Because it is already committed. Clear? And it makes sense because right once this is done means your data is sent successfully to the database. While sending the email, if some issue, that doesn't impact our database. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Right now, then what I need to do? I need to send one verification pending email to the customer, right? Restaurant owner. That email, the email async method I'm using, which I have used earlier to send the email, and finally I'm going to return true. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now what you can do for separate? So this statement, right? You can move to here. Okay. So this is best programming. Best programming. So any right, whichever statement is required a transaction, those statement I have written within my try catch block, and this statement whatever I have written, right? Why I'm getting this error? Okay, model.email. Okay. So basically, right, if there is some issue, then transaction is going to be rolled back. But outside of this one, right, for example, when I'm sending this email, if there is some issue, that means it is not related to our main functionality. It is related to something else that what we need to, we are handling again outside the catch block. Clear?
Yep.
Clear or not? Now the transaction statement is right is limited to database operation only. So other thing, right? For example, sending the email, if any issue occurred, then there is no relation with the right rollbacking the transaction because that is something different. That is not related to your database functionality. So that's what you need to understand. So this is going to my login method, which is going to again going to check whatever the email ID and whether this email ID belongs to this restaurant owner profile. And here I'm using as node tracking to provide some kind of right what I can say better performance. And again, while I'm registering, I mean, whenever I'm performing this operation, I'm also loading the restaurant owner profile. Why? Because the restaurant owner profile is the entity, right? If you see this restaurant owner profile, so this is the entity which is going to hold this is verified I mean this verified column. So this column is going to tell whether the account is verified or not. So for that purpose, while I'm loading the user entity, I'm also loading the related restaurant profile. So once the data is loaded, we need to make sure this is not empty. And whatever the user provided password that is matched with this user password. If not matched, then what we need to do? We need to, right? If both are matched, then we need to return that user data and we will tell that restaurant owner logged in successfully, right? Other cases, you can see invalid attempt and invalid information that what we need to return. Clear?
Yes, sir. Here instead of include, we can have a joins also, right?
So what exactly this include method is going to do internally?
Yeah, it will load all the restaurant owner profile table data also.
Yeah, then what kind of a join you want to use?
So
Ref
what?
join, sir.
Yeah. So here include means it will retrieve all the data exists in this table, right? In that case, there may be a load. Mostly, it will come into this.
See, that is not the solution. The solution is, right, instead of loading all the data, what you can do is you can write the select statement here, and that select statement is going to write whatever the information you need, that what you need to only retry,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So this include method internally is going to do the joining operation. But ideally, right, ideally this is not required here.
Hmm.
So this is not required. So because we are not using that anymore.
Yes.
Okay, okay, but yes, we will return that because at the page, right? At the page, we need to verify whether that is verified is true or false. Accordingly, we need to decide, right, which page we need to redirect. This is required. So we are including that one, right? Why I'm loading this information? See, in this case, right, if the user verified, I mean, if the user is approved, that remark is there. So then we need to redirect, right? If the user provided credential is fine, but the account is not verified. So admin right reject this one, so that value is going to be 0. And admin provided some remark that your account is not verified because of the so and so region. So we need to redirect the user to some pages, right? And that pages is going to tell, right, why the account is not verified. So that information we need to provide. That means this admin remarks is also going to be required. So that is the reason why I'm including this information. But yes, if you want to be specific, right? If you want to be specific to some specific data, you can customize the query, right? So I mean, instead of loading all the data, you can load only the specific information, and you need to create a separate view model. And whatever the information you require, you can store as properties, and you can right fetch the data and fill the properties, and you can return. So that is not a big deal. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we
Yes.
go to the first method, registration method?
Yes. Which
Sir, here, first method. Okay. So here user is created after the we committing transaction, right?
no. So in this case, when you call this exchanges method, this entity is going to be created and you will get the user ID. And using that user ID, we are going to make an entry to this table as well as we are making entry to this table. So whatever, so once you call the step changes, that user is going to be inserted into the database, that user ID is going to be generated. But later on, if you call this rollback method, then whatever entity, I mean, whatever user ID is generated, that is going to be deleted.
Okay,
Sir,
I
I
thought
have a one
after we
question.
committing,
Sorry. So
sir,
you
I
have
thought
this.
after committing, then only the entity is created.
See, once you commit means the changes are made permanent. So what is the main basic information you need to know? Step changes means they are going to be created into the in the database. But once they are created, then you have the chance that if you want, you can roll back those changes. And once you commit, means these changes are made permanent and you cannot roll back them again. And if you roll back, means those changes are going to be rolled back. So commit means it will make the changes permanent. Rollback means whatever changes you have done, they will be rolled back. Clear? But whenever you call this step changes method, the operation is completed. And this statement will ensure that this operation completed successfully. So in this case, the whatever the DML operation you perform, they are done on the database. But but there is a chance that you can roll back or you can make these changes permanent. And that is the reason why we are using transaction to ensure either all the operations are completed successfully. If any of the operation failed, right, we completely need to roll back the transaction.
So, sir, in
Clear?
this case, say, suppose there are multiple transaction is been triggered on this one. Say, for suppose 10 is a number it was generated.
See, for each
Okay.
so doesn't matter. For each request, one transaction will be created.
Yeah. Say for this transaction, we have generated ID say 10. So while saving into the second method, there is exception was occurred. So it got rolled back. But again, there is one more user from another system. He may trigger this user creation. That time he will not allocate the 10 number. He will be allocating with 11 number. So in that case, there will be a gap of 10, right, sir?
Yes, definitely.
So in
See,
that case, there is a possibility like whenever we see the data, there is a missing of the record will
that
come
is
up.
the reason why. That is the reason why you can see user ID 2, then user ID 6. There is a gap of 4, 1, 4, 5 or not. So why? See, in this case, right? So whenever you are rollbacking the transaction, for example, let's say user ID 1, 2, 3 is there, the next user is going to be the ID is 4. But if you roll back this one, then whenever the next entity is going to be created, that 4 you will not find. That next entity is going to be 6. I mean
Yes.
5. So that is what you need to remember. And that is the reason, because in this case, rollbacking means what? It is deleting that data. So, and
Okay.
if you know the basic fundamental rule, so once you insert a entity, if you delete that entity, that next record, if it is auto identity column, then the next record is not going to be the deleted one. It is going to be the next one. So delete means it is deleted. That doesn't mean that is going to be filled automatically. So that's what you need to remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
So next one is going to be my change password. So logic is very simple. First of all, we need to check whether the user ID exists. If the user ID is exist, then whatever the current password provided and whatever the password stored in the database, both are same. If both are same, then we need to update that password with the current password. So then this is going to be forgot password, which will take the email ID to check whether the user exists in the database with the role master ID, restaurant owner. If it exists, then write return true. If not exist, then return false. So this is going to my reset password async method, which will take the email ID. So reset password means here the current password is not available. So whatever the email ID and the role master ID, we need to check to make sure this is there. So this token is not required in this case. So you can simply ignore that token validation will be there. So then what I need to do, we need to generate a new password hash if this is available. And this update statement doesn't make sense here because this entity is already being tracked by the context object. So when you call this step changes method, automatically that password hash and the modified date is going to be updated into the database. So add or update address hashing. So basically whatever the user ID, based on the user ID, we are fetching whether any existing address available for that particular user. And here our main intention, one restaurant owner can have only one address, no more than one address. So basically we are checking whether any existing address available for this particular user. If available, then please update this information, right? And in this case, we are not taking this latitude and longitude, so you can simply ignore these values, right? So this information we are not taking. So doesn't make any sense to provide. I mean, if we are not taking those values, then why should we update those things, right? Doesn't make any sense. So if existing data is available, we are updating the address line 1 to city, state, zip code, and all these things. If it is available, we are updating. And here, marking the status as updated doesn't make any sense. Why? Because this existing address is already being tracked by the context object. Next, what I'm doing here, I'm creating a new address. And if it is not available, I'm creating a new address. And I'm providing all the information, adding that entity into the user address. And finally, calling this changes method, which is either going to update this information or it is going to create a new entity. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Next, this is going to by get restaurant owner by ID method. So in this case, whatever the restaurant owner user information, that what we are fetching based on the role master ID. So basic information it is going to return. So then this is going to be update restaurant owner method. So whatever the account information, if you want to update. So first of all, we need to fetch whether this exact user ID is available or not. If it is available, then we are updating the first name, last name, phone number, and what I can say, modified it. Again, calling this update method doesn't make any sense here because automatically this is going to be handled by the context object. And when we call the step changes method, so once you have modified this first name, last name, any properties, right? That entity state is going to be in modified state, and when you call the step changes method, automatically it is going to generate the update SQL statement. So this is my account verification, right? Is account verified async method, which is going to check, right, whether this user profile ID, right, exists in the database, and is this is verified property is true or not. So basically, whether the account is verified or not. So that true false is going to be written by this method. So this method is no longer required by our application. So this is get restaurant owner address method. So whatever the address information of a particular restaurant, that information we are retrieving here. This is going to be the get business details. So whatever the business details of a particular rate user, that restaurant owner profile information, that what we are retrieving here, if it is available. So this is going to be order update business details. So first of all, we are going to check whether any existing business details available, right? If business details available, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit this information. If not available, I'm going to add these informations, right? Then this is going to be my get bank details method. So based on the right user ID, I'm going to return the bank details to the client, I mean to the UI. So whatever the information related to that particular right restaurant owner, that corresponding bank details I'm providing or returning, and then I'm going to update this information, right? So if any existing bank details available, so they are going to be update. So calling this update method doesn't make any sense here. So you can remove. Otherwise, right, it is going to be added. Then in this case, right, it is going to update. Now, what is the challenging job here? Here is this statement. So, is the statement required here? Not required. The way we have implemented our application, from the page one, we are taking the business details, we are taking the bank details, and that is the right as we are taking this information. So, anyhow, always right, whenever we are going to execute this method, so this information will be there. But now you might have one question, then sir, why when we need to use this information? For example, at the registration time, for example, at the registration time, you are not taking the business details and bank details, only you are taking the right restaurant profile details. So then in that scenario, this will come into the picture. But yes, for the safer side, right? If you want to enhance the functionality, then you can implement like this so that your method is going to perform both add as well as the update operations. Clear?
Yeah,
Yes.
excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah. The quest of using add or update, will it not be more difficult for the unit test if you're going to unit test it? I would have think that maybe the add is done apart and the update apart instead of if else for the add and update.
Yes, that is the reason why I'm providing now. So that is the reason why I'm providing this method for the unit testing purpose. For example, later on, right, you want to ensure that right in this case it should create the account. If it is a new account, I mean new business details are added, that my unit test is passed. If the business details are updated, my unit test is passed. So for this particular scenario, it should create a new entity. For this particular scenario, it should update that entity. So that's what you can do it.
But is it not better to just separate it, add and update apart? Is it not better?
Sorry, add and
Is
update path means what?
I mean, different instead of if else. Why not update and another code for add instead of if else?
Yeah.
So is
Then how you can do this, right? How you are going to check whether I need to right update the data or I need to create a new entity?
so I think he's saying that let it be different logic, different method for each for updates. Let's have a method for updates. For a hard, have a method for hard.
You
I think
you
that
just
was what
tell
he was saying.
me. See, you can create two different methods. So what I'm saying, ideally,
Yeah.
in this case, this existing is going to be used. So this one will never come into the picture. Why? Because in
Yeah,
this
it's okay.
case, we
I
are
thought
taking the business
for solid
details, we are
principle.
taking,
Yeah.
say, we are taking the not solid principle. In this case, we are taking the business information, bank details at the time of a registration. So,
Um,
so at the time of a registration means it is mandatory to have this information exist in the data,
Okay. Okay. I get it. I get it. Okay. Okay.
right?
Thank you.
But yes, right. Sometimes what happens, right? We need to create a simple method, and that method responsibility is to check whether the data is exist, then update the data. If not exist, then add the data. So that functionality I'm providing here.
Okay, I get it. Okay, thank you.
Right? So, but for our requirement, that what I have told you, so this part is always going to be true. It will never come back to the else part. Why? Because we are taking the bank details and right the business details at the time of registration. Clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
So once this is done, next what do I need to do? I need to register my service into the program class. So go to the program class. So where is your program class? Go ahead and register this service. So like the other service, we have also registered our restaurant owner service. So once this is done, next what? Next we need to create the controller, which is going to handle all these operations. So let me go ahead and create my controller class. So this is going to my controller class. It's a very big controller, but very easy to understand. Now, please observe. So here what I'm doing, I'm going to use some kind of a services. Owner service, definitely. This owner service is nothing but your restaurant owner. Email service I'm going to use. Memory cache I'm going to use. Logging service I'm going to use. And common service I'm going to use. So these are the services that what I'm going to use. So this is my index page. So this is my index page. Index page means right. So basically, whenever you click on that link, right, from the uh, landing page that on which portal you want to redirect. So once you click, then it will be redirected to this index action method. So in the index action method, first of all, we need to check whether the user is already logged in or not. If the user is already logged in, right, I mean the authentication is true, then we are fetching the user ID, and once we fetch the user ID, then we need to check whether the user account is verified or not. If the user account is verified, we will redirect the user to the dashboard where he can see, right, whatever the order are placed. That means the completely admin panel, that what it is going to show. If the user account is not verified, then it will redirect the user to the account verification page where it is going to display what is the current status, why it is being, I mean, pending. If it is pending, right, if it is pending, that's fine. How much time it will take to complete. Again, if it is failed, right, verification failed, why it is failed, what is the remark provided by the admin, that information we need to display in the account verification page. Clear?
Sir, can you please explain that index with that example?
So index with that example means
Why are we using that index?
what index you are talking about?
This method name.
So this is just a method name. So what I need to explain related to this name. So this is just a method. Practically, when I run the application, I will show you how it is going to work. So what explanation you need?
What is the use? Like how will we use it?
So are you treasurer or what exactly? I mean, I'm not understanding, right? So what is the use of this method? So that is what I'm going to show you practical now. So once I run the application, how it is going to be handled, that practically I'm going to show you. So anything you are not understanding within this code, you can ask me, right? Ask me. So any statement you are not understanding,
Okay, thank you.
right? So basically, this thing practically I'm going to show you how it is going to be work. But now, any statement, all right, whatever the statement we have written within this action method, if you are not understanding, you can ask. Right? So basically from here, as you can see, we are redirecting the user to three different pages. Not three different pages, four different pages. If the user is not logged in, I mean, if the user is not logged in, then this page will come, right? Okay, let me show you this thing practically so that you will understand.
Yeah, I think that's what I was
See,
wondering.
why I'm saying, because this example I have already created. So that is the reason why I can say now. Now you can see this is my home controller index action method. So this is going to be my home controller index action method. So currently, whatever pages you are seeing, this is my home controller index action method. So within the home controller index action method, you can see I have provided the link for the customer controller index action method, owner account controller index action method. So basically, once I click on this button, so it will invoke which action method of which controller?
Restaurant owner.
Restaurant owner, and it is going to invoke the index action method. So once it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
to this page, right, then it is going to check whether the user is already logged in, because we are implementing right, what kind of logging functionality we are using, cookie based authentication. That cookie is going to valid for 60 minutes. Within the 16 minutes, if you try to application again and again, right, it will not ask you to, right, what I can say, login. Rather than it is going to take the information from the browser cache. So at this point of time, it is going to check whether the user is already logged in. If it is, for example, in this case, let me click one. So it is already not logged in. So it is redirecting this page, right? Restaurant owner account. So this is nothing but, right, what I can say. So this is nothing but this page, right? I mean, it is returning the view. So if the user is authenticated, then it is going to check, right? I mean, if it is authenticated, then what I need to do? I need to check whether the user is verified or not. If it is verified, redirect the user to the dashboard. If it is not verified, redirect the user to the account verification page. For example, I logged in. So I logged in. So this is my page. This is going to my dashboard, restaurant owner account dashboard. So now what I'm doing here, I close this one. So once I close this one, now what I'm going to do, please observe. Again, I'm running my application. Now this time, right? Okay, let me put a right debugger pointer here. Now I click on this one. So my debugger pointer here. So this time the user is already authenticated. Yes or no? Because we have authenticated, we have
Yes.
not logged out and we close the browser. So that means for the next 60 minutes, it will not allow you to log in again. So definitely in this case, is authenticated is going to be true. So true. So it
True.
will come inside this page. So inside this page, it is going to check whether this user ID, what I got from the claim, right? So whether this user ID is a authenticated user or not. So if it is an authenticated user, it will redirect to the dashboard where it will show you the completely picture of your account. If your account is not authenticated, means you are a logged in user, but your account is not yet verified by the admin, it will redirect you to the account verification page, right? So let's assume we are redirecting the user to this account verification page, right? Let's assume your account is not verified. So in that case, it is going to display this information. Clear? See, in this
Yeah.
case, it is saying verified successfully because the account is already verified. If it is rejected, then why it is rejected, right? That information will display here. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you.
Guys, give me
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Yeah, I cannot hear anything.
He is
He
mute
said,
actually.
he said we should give him time. Yes.
okay. So basically, this page will come if your account is not verified, right? But if it is verified, then or directly it will redirect you to the right this page. But if you are not logged in, then right what will happen? In that case, right, it will redirect you to the home page, right? For example, in this case, it will redirect, right? At this time, the user is not authenticated, so it will redirect you to the index page. So this is going to my index page, right? So basically, do I need to display the index page? Do I need to redirect it to the dashboard? Do I need to redirect the user to the account verification page? So all these informations are going to be decided by this index action. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Now, so this is going to my registered method, right? So registered method means it is going to right open this view, right? So once you click on the sign in button, this get started. So this page is opening. So this view is going to be rendered by this registered right action method. So inside this method, you can see, first of all, we are checking whether it is a duplicate email, whether it is a duplicate phone number or not, right? If both are fine, that is fine. So this validation we need to check at this point of time. So we can simply remove this. We can come to this part, then check this. Then we are going to check whether the model state is valid or not. If it is not valid, we are going to display the error message. So now if you go to this part, so this preliminary check right, was wrong, right, in our controller level, right? So now we should remove the statements. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
Right? So now, again, what I'm doing here, please observe. So if the account is created, right, then what I need to do, we need to, once the account is created, optionally log the user immediately. So you can call this login user right method to log in the user. And then what I need to do, we need to sign in the user. So sign in the user. Basically, in this case, right, doesn't make any sense to write this functionality is not required. So here, what I need to do, I need to sign in the user directly. So sign in the user. So for signing in the user, this information is required. So sign in user ID and email. Okay, so this information is required. So okay, so that is the reason why I have provided. So that's fine. So we need to sign in the user. Then we need to redirect. So in this case, once you sign in the user, in this case doesn't need to check all this information directly. You can redirect the user to the account verification page. Why? Because at this point of time the user account is not verified, so we can directly redirect the user to this account verification page, where we'll need to provide some message that your account is on verification, right? It will take this much of time, and right, will notify you once your account is verified. That message we need to provide. And if we got here, there is some issue. So we need to redirect it to the login page, and do we need to say that some exception or some error occurred, your registration is being failed. Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Right. So this is my login method. So whatever the redirect to URL that what I'm taking, I'm going to rendering the login page. So in this case, right, this page is going to be rendered where we'll ask the user to enter the first name and last name and this remember me for a right permanent booking. So now what I'm going to do is, so this is going to my post action method. First of all, we are going to validate the model state, whether the model state is valid or not. Then we are going to call this method to check whether the user is valid or not. So this method is going to return me the data, right? Whether the user is verified or not. Now inside in and here you can see what I'm doing. Please observe, right? In this case, I'm not using that verification. Rather than I'm using this account verified async method for verification. So that means, so whatever the information we are loading this statement, we can remove. So this statement is not required, right? Because here we only need the account, the user information, whether the user account is verified or not. For that purpose, we are using this service additionally. So that statement, right, we can remove. So again, the same logic, if the account is verified, redirect it to the dashboard. Otherwise, redirect if the user is logged in, but account is not yet verified, then redirect the user to the account verification page. So this is going to be my account verification page, right? And inside this account verification page, what we need to do, we need to fetch the profile information, right? So how you can retrieve the account profile information. So in this case, right, you can see we have created one method. So we have commented one method. So this method get restaurant owner profile is commented. Why? Because we are going to use a different method. What method we are going to use? Get business details by user ID. So that method we need to use. So instead of this one, I need to use this one. So I'm getting this error. Okay.
Sir, the method which return complete user, we need to add this method.
Okay. So this method is returning restaurant owner profile. So now if you look at this, okay, so here you can see I'm returning the restaurant owner profile along with the user. So that is a different method. So we need to use this one. So not only the profile information, but also we need the user information. So that is the reason why I have used this method. So we can come back to this statement. And then, right, once we uncomment these things, then also we need to uncomment the same. So that is, so there is some specific reason. That's why I have created that method. So now go to the definition. So whichever method we commented, we can uncomment. So this method is going to basically return not only the restaurant owner profile, also it is going to return the right corresponding user information. So first of all, if this profile is null, so we need to redirect it to the login page. Very rare case, 0.001 scenario that this is going to return null. Then what I need to do, I need to construct my view model, which is going to be used for the view. So whatever the email ID, right, user.email, whether it is verified or not, and email verification message, your account is under review. So that message we are going to display. And if it is not verified, I mean that profile is not verified, then what I need to do, I need to check, right? I need to say whether your account verification is pending or failed. How we can verify? So for that purpose, what we need to do, we need to use this admin remark. So if the admin remarks is provided, means your account is failed, otherwise your account is pending for verification, right? If your account is verified, we need to display this message that your account has been successfully verified and we are returning to the view model. So next one, this is my dashboard, right? So dashboard means first of all, we need to check. So this conditional checking is fine. So if someone directly coming to this dashboard by putting the URL, then also we need to check in the server side whether the user account is verified or not. So if the account is verified, then we will return the dashboard. Otherwise, we will redirect the user to the account verification page. This forgot password is similar to our customer functionality. So which is going to render one page where the user, I mean the restaurant owner, going to enter the email ID. If the email ID is provided and it is in valid format, we will proceed. We will check whether the any existing user exists with that email ID. If it exists, then we are going to generate a token. That token we are going to store in the memory cache for the 15-minute. Key is going to be the email ID. And then we are going to generate the reset link. And that reset link along with its subject line, we are going to send it to the customer email address. And then we will redirect the user to the password, right? Forgot password confirmation page where it is going to display that your password confirmed successfully. This is my reset password. Once the user click on that link, right, which he received through his email, we will check whether the token and email are valid or not. I mean, this token and email are present or not. If this token and email are present, then we will render the password. We'll render the page where we will ask the user to enter the right password and the confirm password. And this token and email, they are going to be stored in the hidden field, right? Then this is the view, which this is the action method which is going to be rendered when the user provide the password and then confirm password and click on the submit button. So we are going to check whether the model state is valid. Then we are going to check whether the email, right, whatever the email I'm getting, which I'm storing in the hidden field, whether that email is available in the memory cache. So if this email is available, which we set here, right, if you look at this, that email we are storing in the cache, So if this email is available, then that corresponding token we are going to retrieve. So that token we are going to retrieve, and that stored token we are going to check whether this is available with the token what I'm getting from the model. If both are matched, then that is valid. Otherwise, what we need to do, we need to display this message invalid or expired token. If this is valid, then what we need to do, we need to reset the password. And after the password is reset, we need to remove that key from the cache, which I am storing for this particular email ID. And I need to redirect it to this reset password confirmation page. So this is my change password. The functionality is going to be same as the right what I can say, the way we have explained right, the way it is working with the customer model, it is going to be same with the right restaurant owner model. So we'll render one page, right? That page is asking to enter the current password, new password, and confirm new password. And password validation is going to be handled this method, which we defined in our owner service. If validation is successful, it will be redirected to this page, right? Change password confirmation. This is my account page. So this page is going to display this one, right? So this is the page. So this page it is going to display. Currently, these are hard-coded, or you can say static data, what I'm showing. Later on, as we progress, once other things are implemented, we'll make this as a dynamic model, right? So this page is going to be displayed. So not this one, right? This is going to my account, not the dashboard. So this is the dashboard. So this is going to my account page. So here I'm going to display the basic details, address details, and business details. So these information I'm fetching from my service class. So this is going to be my basic details. It is going to return the basic details. This is going to return the address information. This is going to return the business information. So I'm populating my view model with the required basic information, address information, and a business information. And then I'm passing this view model to the corresponding view, which is going to render the data in this format. Clear, guys, till now?
Yeah, pleasure. I'm with you.
Right? So anytime anyone having any issue, right, they can raise the question directly. So this is my update basic details page. So basically from this page, when you click on this update button, this page is going to be rendered. So here it is going to pre-populate the first name, last name, phone number, email ID he cannot update. So these things is required. So in this case, you can see update basic details. So I'm taking the user ID, first name, last name, email, and phone number. Even the email ID is there. So this information we are not aligned. So basically, whatever the pre-populate, right, populating this field, email ID, if you want to show here as a what I can see, some kind of a read-only property, that what is possible. But right, currently I'm not showing. And then this is the method which is going to handle the update operation. So once you click on this button, this action method is going to execute. So it is going to update the data based on right. So for updating the data, it is going to use this update restaurant owner account method. So this is manage bank details page. So basically here you can see manage bank details option is there. So this page, whatever the data is displaying, so for that purpose we are using this manage bank details page. So based on the user ID, we are retrieving the bank information and providing this information to the view. Right. And from this view, right, if you want to update the bank details, click on this update details. So it will open this text boxes where you can update the data. For that purpose, I'm using this update bank details. So based on the user ID, the same method, whatever I'm using here, same method I'm using here to get the information and render this information as a editable or text boxes. And once you click on this update button, the post action method is going to be executed. So first of all, it is going to validate whether the model is valid as per our requirement, and then it is going to update the data into the database. Then this is my manage address page. So whatever the address is, right? So that what it is going to display here. So for that purpose, I'm using this manage address based on the user ID. It is going to retrieve the restaurant owner addresses and returning that addresses to the corresponding view. And the view is going to we have this add edit address button. So in this case, if address is not provided yet, that add address option will come if provided this. So in any case, when you click on that button, this edit address and add address, one single page I'm going to create, And that single page is going to dynamically display whether it is edit functionality or for add functionality, right? So in this case, we are not taking any, right, what I can say, that Google Map here, it's not required. Only the information which is required, that what it needs to be provided by the admin. And once you click this update button, that post version of this method add edit is going to be so he is going to update the address by calling this method. So this is my manage business details. So you can see there is also another option, manage business details. So this page is going to be rendered when the user click on that link, and this is the action method which is going to render that page. So whatever the business information based on the user ID we are retrieving from our service, and right, providing this information to the corresponding view. Then this is the update method. If you want to update this information, you need to click on this update business details method button. So here it is rendering this information in editable format. So that format is going to be provided by this update business details method. And whenever you click on this update button, it's this is the page is going to be, I mean, this post version of the action method is going to handle this functionality by calling this method. So this is my sign in method, which is we have already discussed. Cookie based authentication we are using. So that name, email ID, that user ID, and that role. These three things we are storing into the claim, so that whenever the right wherever we need, we can validate the user based on the claim, role claim. We can get the user ID based on this user ID. Sometimes if you need the email ID, that what you can also fetch. And this is my logout function, which is going to sign out the user. Clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Yeah.
Right. So now what we need to do, we need to create the corresponding view. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create two layout pages. One is one layout page for the verified customer, I mean verified restaurant owner, and another layout page for the non-verified restaurant owner. Because in the verified case, we need to give some different looks altogether, and for the non-verified, that nothing is going to be visible, right? That you can one simple page. So this is going to be my restaurant owner layout page. This is going to be used by the verified. I mean the restaurant owner whose account is verified. They are going to use this layout page. So let me go ahead and create this one. Okay. So now this application is no longer required, so we can stop this one. Okay. So here you can see I have provided many right, what I can say, uh, I mean, right, it is going to display that page. Page means whatever the looks and feels we need in our admin panel, that left side sidebar, sidebar with menus, all these things are provided. Here you can see my account section is there, and inside this my account section, it is going to display view account, change password, manage password, right? All these things are going to be display, manage bank details, manage business details. So then another, right, some other menus are there, manage items. So all these things I have provided. Currently, I'm not implementing all this functionality, which we will implement one by one in our coming days. But for now, we are going to provide implementation for these things, right? So whatever the authentication related functionalities, so those information we are going to provide. So this is going to be my layout page for the restaurant owner whose account is being active. I mean verified. So if the account is not verified, then what I need to do? I need to use a different layout. So that layout is going to be this one. So inside this layout, right, what I'm going to do is I do not have any such menus, right, which is required for the verified account. So if the account is not verified, simply you are going to use this normal layout, which is going to have this logout functionality, and that's it. So here you can see this logout functionality. If the account is not logged in, then he is going to use this login and the register functionality. Clear? This is the, right, what I can say. This is the layout page which is going to be used for the non-logged in, non-verified account holder, right? If you are not logged in, sorry,
అక్కకి ఇస్తాను
ఎవరు
అమ్మ
who is that?
అర్థం కాల.
Right? So whenever you are talking, right, right yourself, please mute yourself, right? So, okay. So basically, this is the layout page which is going to be used for the non-logged in and non-verified user. And this layout is going to be used for the logged in and verified user. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So two different layout we have created. So next one is my index page. So within the view slash restaurant account holder, we need to create my index page. So let me go ahead and create a view. So this page is going to give you the options to log in, register, right? Whatever the information is required. So that's what it is going to provide. So basically one page you can say why you should use their platform as a restaurant owner, what functionality, what flexibilities they are providing. That information it is going to provide with options to log in, register. Yeah, these are the two options they are provided in the inside this page. You can use this one to get more information about the product they are providing, and then you can decide whether you need to read proceed and read what I can say, register your business, your restaurant within the uh, panel. I mean within that platform, so that you can sell online items. So that index page is going to be this one. Next one is registered page. So that registered page means the customer is going to register himself using this page. So inside this page, we are going to take the basic information. Right? We are going to take the restaurant owner basic information, that business information as well as the bank details. So let me create this view.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Sir, you are creating index and register view in shared folder. Might be you have to create for another folder for owner.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. So that is the mistake we have already done. So what we need to do within the views folder, we need to create this one, restaurant owner account, and this index we should move to this one. This register it should be moved to this folder, right? So because these are specific to our restaurant owner account. So clear? Now it's fine. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So now inside this page, what we are doing, please observe, we are taking the personal details like first name, last name, phone number. We are taking the business details like business GST, business registration number. We are taking the account holder, bank, and all these informations, and then we are providing this register now button. So once you, if you want to sign in, that sign in button is also provided. So this is going to my register. So then what I need to do, I need to create my account verification page, which is going to display the current status of your account. So now create another view within this folder. So again, this view is going to use, right? So till now, whatever you can see, this index page, it is using restaurant owner unverified layout. This is the registered page, which is also using that restaurant owner unverified layout. So this account verification also it is going to use the restaurant owner unverified layout page. So here, whatever your current status, that information whether your account is verified or not verified, if not verified, whatever the message provided by the admin, so those information we are providing here. Next one is my login page. Again, this login page, again, it is going to use the non-verified layout. So create a new view. So this is the login page, which is going to take the information like the email ID, password, remember me, checkbox, and then forgot password link is also provided. So this is going to be simple login page, right? So the way we have created the login page, this is the same login. This is going to my dashboard, right? And this dashboard means once the user is logged in, once the user account is verified, then we will redirect the user, I mean the admin panel, to his dashboard. So this dashboard currently it is showing some static information. As we progress, I'm going to make this page dynamic, and this time it is going to use the verified layout, restaurant owner layout. So now you can see it is using the restaurant owner layout. So this is a static page. So we are displaying some total orders, total revenue, active order, average rating. So this is currently I have provided some hard coded data because the data is not available in the database. And later on, I will show you how you can make this page dynamic. So currently, this is completely a static page. And if you are working with any real-time application, you can consider this is the page that what you will get from the uh, designer team. And your responsibility to make this page dynamic. So as we progress, I will show you how we can make this page dynamic with our implementation. So whatever the actual data, how we can bring those data and provide this data with this page. That's what we will discuss. So next one, what I'm going to use, forgot password. So again, this is for the non-logged in user. I mean, once the user forget his password, he can use this page. Again, this is going to use the non-verified layout. This page is going to have one input element, that is email, and that email he needs to provide, right? So that email we are taking, and the rest of the information, whatever we are provided, if error occurred, so this section is going to be higher. So next one is password confirmation page. So once the rate, once the email is sent to the customer, to the restaurant owner, we need to redirect it to one page showing that one email is sent to your registered email ID. Please check and that email content how to reset your password. That information we need to provide here. So that is nothing but this page. So that your password link has been sent to your registered email address. Please check and that email contains the instruction how to reset the password. Also, we are providing one button so that if you recognize your password, you can also log in with your existing password. So that information, again, this is going to be a non-verified layout. So this is going to my reset password. So once the user click on that link, which he received in his email address. So this is the page which is going to be rendered. So inside this page, we are going to have two hidden field and two input field. Hidden field is for the email and the token, and input field for the password and the confirm password. So here you can see two hidden field, token and email, and two input element. One is for new password and another one is for confirm password. So this is the page for resetting the password using forgot password link. So once the password is reset successfully, we need to redirect the user to this page indicating that your password has been reset. Now you can log in using your updated password. So that information we need to provide here along with a link to re-log into your application. So that's what we need to provide. So this is your password updated successfully. Please use your new password login. Then this is going to my account page. So inside this my account page, we are going to display all the account related information related to the user. What is his address? What is his bank details, business details, basic details. So those information so we need to display. So this is the page where the account related informations uh, related to the restaurant owner, like the business details we are displaying. And if you want, you can edit these business details. We are providing the user address information if available, right? And we are also providing the options to edit or add the address. If address available, edit. If not available, you can add. So this is going to be the basic details where you can edit the address. If you want, you can also change the password. So that information we have provided. And for some customization to provide some that looks better, we are using some kind of a inline CSS. Then this is going to my change password. So change password means for the logged in user, if they want to update their password with their current password, they can use this change password page. So this change password is going to take three information. One is the current password, new password, as well as the confirm new password. So three input elements are going to be there. One is current password, next one is new password, and the next one is confirm password. So this page is going to update the logged in user current password to a updated password. So once the password is updated successfully, we need to redirect it to this page right? That your password has been updated successfully. Next time when you log in, please use your updated password. Currently, we have you do not need to use the update one because you have already logged. Next time when you are going to use, you have to use the new password. That what information we are going to provide. Also, you are going to provide a link which will redirect you to the dashboard page. So update the basic information. So any basic details of the user you want to update, like the first name, last name, phone number, then you have to use this page. Update basic details. So this information you can update. So here you can see I'm taking some information here. That is the first name, last name, phone number. I'm not allowing the user to update his email address, and these are the things. If you don't want to update, you can redirect it to this My Account page by clicking on this cancel button. Any error occurred while updating the data, that error is going to be displayed here, right? And this is some information about this page. Next one is manage bank details. So whatever your bank details information, that what we need to display inside this page. And from this page, we are providing one button, right, using which the customer can update his bank details if any information is wrong. So that information it is going to update. So this is going to my page, right? Once the updation is completed, any success message you want to display, you can display here. If the data is available, what is its account holder name, what is the bank name, what is the account number, IFC code, and one button for updating the bank details. If data is not available, so ideally this else but will never come into the picture. But yes, if bank details has not been provided, then we are providing one button to add the bank details later on. Right? So that what I'm providing both the functionality so that you should not fail. Right? If I'm not taking the bank details at the time of a registration, later on how I can take the data. So that what it is also going to manage. Next one is this update bank details page, which is going to update the provided bank information, whatever the existing bank information, those informations are going to be updated by this page. So let me copy this view code. Yeah. So here you can see I'm updating the account holder name, bank name, account number, and IFSC code. So that what, and when you click on this button, it is going to update the data. If you don't want to update, click on this cancel button. This is going to manage address. So whatever address are provided, so that address it is going to show here. So this is going to my address. So any existing address, whatever you provided, that address is going to be show here with the options to add or edit the address. So basically, if you have provided addresses, it will show you this edit address button. If address is not provided, this add address button is going to be displayed. And whatever address you provided, that address is also going to be displayed in the UI. This is my page where it will provide the options to add or edit the address. So in this page is going to display the existing address in editable format if available. If not available, then form will allow you to provide the new address. So that functionality we are providing here. Right. So the same edit address page is going to be displayed. Right. So we are taking the address line 1, address line 2, city, state, zip code, all these informations we are taking. But we are not taking the latitude and the longitude, which is not required for this page. Manage business details. So basically, whatever your business informations, if you want to update those informations, so for that purpose, you have to use this manage business details page. Right. Again, again, we are providing both the options to add or update the business details. Right. If a business details are already available, it will show here, and it will provide the options to edit the business details. If not available, it will allow you to create a new business details. So then what I need to do, I need to use this update business details page to add or update the business details. So let me go ahead and create a view. Using this page, we are going to add or update the business details. So whatever the information provided earlier, So those informations are going to be visible here. If you have provided, otherwise it will allow you to create a new business informations. So with this, our right, what I can say, the development is done. Now we need to test the functionality. So for testing the functionality, let me run the application. This is the page. So we have already completed the customer model. Now we are discussing this restaurant owner module. So click on this enter restaurant portal. So once you click on this one, so currently you have not logged in, you have not registered. So what you need to do, we need to register. You can click on this get started button. So here you can see about our platform. So our services, right? Whatever information you want to provide, you can update, right? You can modify. These are going to be static information that what you need to provide. And here we need to click on this get started. So once I click on this get started, this page is coming. So I'm providing my details. Test @ 1234. Test @ 1234. So business details, bank details. So all this information I have provided, and click on this button. See, your account is pending verification, so not verified. So currently your account is on pending state. So your account verification is pending. Please allow 24 hours for your verification. Now you can see you log out here. Again, you try to log in, you will come to this page. So whatever the data we have provided, so let me give this one and click this one. So what email ID or user ID we provided? So this one we provided, right? Turnaround 88. Okay, your account is under pending state. So now that admin panel we have not implemented. So currently, and even though the admin panel is not implemented, until and unless the account is not verified, the user cannot access the dashboard, right? So how we can handle this scenario for the testing purpose? So in this case, you can see we are having this restaurant owner profile. So restaurant owner profile account. So go to this page, and there is a each verified button is red column is there. Make this column value to true, and here provide some message approved, any message. So that's it. So once we provided this is verified to true, now again log into your application and see whether this time it is allowing us to log in into our panel or not. So sign in, run it out, test @ 1234. Test @ 1234. Okay. So now, so that is fine. But one thing I need to make sure that account registration email I'm getting or not. So you can see restaurant owner registration verification pending. So thank you. So whatever email we have sent, that email also we are receiving. So that means it is working. Now this is my dashboard, which is fine. Now, if you look at this my account section, so currently you can see that basic details, whatever we provided, these informations are there. Address we have not yet provided, and this is going to my business detail. So these are the information we have provided. You want to update this information? Yes, I want to update. Okay, let me give this one and click on this. So currently I'm not getting any error message. Why I'm not getting any error message? Let us try to observe. So in this case, right here, in this case, if you look at my controller, which action method handling this one? Update basic details. So go to the, so this is the action method which is handling this information. So now please try to observe what exactly happening here. So once I click on this button, so you can see model state dot is valid is false. So why the model state dot is valid is false it is showing. Please go to the definition of this one. So first name is there, last name is there, email is there, phone number is there. But in this case, am I taking the email ID and email ID column value? Am I taking this email ID column value here?
No, it's not there. It's not there.
I'm not taking. So that is the reason why it is giving me this error. So you have two options. Either you can write what I can say, remove this required and email address attribute from the email property. Other option is that go to the view and create a hidden field and store the email ID property. Right? So how you can do this thing? So now if you look at this reset password page, so we are creating some hidden field. So now in this page also we are going to create one hidden field. So hidden field for which property? Hidden field for the
Email.
is this the page? Email property. But in this case, what is the not this? This is not the page. So we are basically updating that. This is the business details. We need to update the basic details. So this is the page. So here I need to put this hidden field email. It's once I put this hidden field email, it should work. Now let me run this application. So it will automatically logged in because we are using. So now come to this batch and right again my question is right. My question is if the data is invalid, why it is not displaying? Because for that particular purpose, we do not have any, right, what I can say, information. Now click on this one. Now this time you should update the data. You say basic details updated successfully. Clear? No.
Yes, sir.
So in this case, right, what I'm going to do is, so this is my user table. So already this information is provided to one user. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to provide the same data. See, failed to update the details. So it is failed to update the details, but is it saying that your phone number is specifically this phone number is duplicate or already used? So this information it is not providing. So for that purpose, what we need to do is, right, we need to handle that scenario. How we can handle that scenario? Right. So basically, if you look at our common service, so in common service, we have created one method, right? If you look at my services in the common service, do we have any method which is going to verify whether the account is verified? I mean, this phone number is valid or not? Yes. So that method we need to use here. So basically, and we have already did this in our, right, where we have done this inside our customer account controller. So I can copy the code from there. So this information I can copy from here and to my restaurant owner account. So go to the update basic details page. Okay. Okay. So this is going to my phone number. Yes. Clear? So this is going to my phone number. So now with these changes, you will get a proper error message. And now click on this one. Phone number is already in use. So now it is a task for you guys. For example, I want to provide here the flexibility or functionality to update the email address. Right? Update the email address. But the thing is that the email address should not be taken by someone else. Like what exactly it means? It means the way we are updating the phone number, in the same way, I want you guys to implement the functionality to update the email address. Can you do this thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
is
Yes,
this
sir.
the, sorry?
Yeah, email already exists.
So basically, the way we are checking whether the phone number is available by checking by explicitly checking all the user expect this one. So that same functionality we need to implement here also. Clear?
Yes.
Right. So now this is my change password. So in the change password, what I need to do, I need to provide my current password, @1234, my current password. My new password, I'm providing something new, the same, @1234. So this information I have provided. See, your password changed to successful. Go to the dashboard. Similarly, manage address, you can see I have not provided any addresses yet. So now click on this add address button. So when I'm calling this add address, I'm getting some exception, right? So that's fine. So if I'm getting some exception, why I'm getting the exception, let us try to observe. So in this case, right, I'm getting some exception, please observe. So this is my edit account method. So this is going to my edit address first. So when I click on this, I'm getting this here. Okay, so we need to check in the restaurant owner method, right? Manage bank details, manage address. So this is the page. Who like to debug or identify the issues in real time? I generally feel it, right? I mean, I like to handle this kind of scenarios, right? So now click on this one. Okay. So now I'm getting this one. So basically here you can see, okay, let me give you a debugger pointer here. So I'm coming to this part and I'm checking whether any address is available. If address is not available, then what I'm returning null. As I'm returning null, it is throwing an issue. So what I need to do, I need to return instead of a null, what I need to create a new empty object. So I need to return an empty object. So once I return this one, now it will work. Okay. My address, manage address. Now. So this is what it should not show here. So means there is some issue in the designing. Okay, let us also identify. Okay, so if the address is not equals to null and greater than 0, then we need to display this thing, right? And similarly, what I need to do, I need to go to this add edit page. So if you model that user address ID, yeah, that's fine. So with these changes, it should work. Okay. So now come to this manage address. See, it looks you have not added any address. Click on this address. See, it is asking you to enter the address details. So I'm providing the address informations and I'm clicking on this add address button. See, that address information is provided. Now, if you click on this one, then again it is going to show the same page, but it is going to allow you to update the information. Click on this update button, it is going to update the address information. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is now working now. Now what we need to do, we need to check the bank details. So currently the bank information is there. If you want to update this information, you can also update the bank information. So this functionality is also working. Similarly, business details, you can see your business information is there. You want to update this information, your business details is updated. So change password, we have already discussed. View account, so all these informations are coming as expected. Clear?
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
sir.
Anyone having any question till now? No. Okay. So this is about your restaurant owner panel authentication functionality. So all this required functionality, which is required for the authentication part, we have discussed. Clear, guys? Anyone having any question?
Clear. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I
Very,
have
very
one
good.
question.
Yes, please.
Sir, while registering a user, if the owner not register their license and extra required field, then what will happen?
See, in this case, whenever the user is registering, so which one you are talking about?
Business details and bank detail if your owner is not registered.
See, you just tell me. So whenever you are developing the application, you are developing the application based on the client requirement or your own requirement.
Client required.
If client, what is your client requirement? Is the client allowing the user to register without business details, without bank details? Is that your client requirement? If yes, you can make this field optional. If no, it is mandatory. So that is not a big deal. So you cannot take the decision what will happen. So it is completely based on the client requirement. So as per the client requirement, if the company, right, for which we want to do, you are developing this application, if they want, yeah, please take only the basic details. If they are providing business details, bank details, that is fine. If they are not providing this information, then that is also fine. Then you have to design the application accordingly. Clear?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Right? So that completely right depend on your client requirement. Anyone having any other question, guys? No.